That would be me.
Look who we're hanging with.
Jason David Frank.
Boom shakalaka.
Please do not change channel.
Welcome back. Thanks for logging on and tuning in. If you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe. That way you can keep coming back over and over to hang with us and our fantastic creative guests in the arts and entertainment world. I'm Allyson Murray, and right now we're at the gorgeous Utica train station for HeroCon 2, hosted by the Utica Children's Museum and James Thomas Manson and Jessica Bickford Manson. And we're hanging with our good friend, comic book writer and illustrator, Michael Peckham. Thank you so much for coming back on the show.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
So let's see. The last time we talked, you were working in the Kirkland Art Center. And then you moved away, went to South Carolina. So now you're back.
Yep.
So tell us about your journey in South Carolina and all that.
Okay, so basically went to Myrtle Beach to get into caricature art.
Oh.
So I was doing that for about 6 months, and Myrtle Beach tends to have a busy season that ends in like October. And I came back at the end of October and started, well, the whole time I was there I was still drawing my comic books and everything, but started applying that to my work that I'm currently working on.
Oh, cool. So you have started a new comic book, right?
Yep.
Let's see what you're doing here.
So, my new one is called The Individual Perception of Howard Horn. Last time I was showing my comic Beast Hunter, which is like a fantasy type book. This one's more like a psychological thriller type, realistic story setting, I guess you'd say.
Oh, wow.
I'll kind of spoil it, even though if you were to read it, it would be like a kind of a big twist. But essentially, it's about this guy who says he can see the future, tell the future. He's having all these visions and stopping these crimes from happening around the city. And then when you get to the end of the story, you find out that he's actually a schizophrenic guy who is not actually having visions, but going through and just kind of beating people up based on what he's
With psychosis.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
But that wouldn't be revealed until the end of the second issue.
Okay.
And
So this is an ongoing, like your
this one's more of a short story. So I've got the first issue right here. Next issue will be the last one.
Oh, okay.
But there's a lot of interesting stuff that kind of goes on with it. The themes are kind of all about like reality, like is what you're seeing real if everyone else is seeing something different.
Oh, okay. Wow. Where did you get the inspiration to start something like that?
I guess just always thinking, and I mean, there's other things that have been done similar before. A lot of people say it kind of sounds like Memento in a way, which is a Christopher Nolan movie. So I'm into stuff like that. That's the type of stories that interest me. I mean, it takes me a while to come up with, but I can kind of come up with something interesting if I think about it long enough.
Right. Wow. I like stuff like that too. So that's something I would read, definitely. So let's see. What can we talk about? Are there any other kind of stories or characters that you're just dying to kind of get out there?
Yeah, there's actually something else I'm working on right now, just not in print in any way. I'm working on a new story, which I'm hoping takes over as one of my mains in the future, where it's a sci-fi futuristic story about a guy and a female android that is made to be like a romantic companion. And he and her are going to unplug one of his friends who basically in this future 40 to 50% of the world is like all plugged into this collective consciousness sort of machine, which was supposed to be kind of based on the internet and how like everyone's kind of like communicating nonstop with the internet now.
Yeah.
This is like they've taken it to the next level and they're just plugging their minds into this collective space where they're just like together with other people's minds, and like half of the world is just kind of plugged in and not even doing anything anymore. Just kind of existing and being like content.
Wow, you got a lot of stuff going on up here.
Yeah.
What or who have been your biggest influences in your work?
Recently, I have been looking at the original Dragon Ball manga a lot. So very popular over here, Dragon Ball Z, especially the anime. Right now, Dragon Ball Super is really popular. I've been looking a lot at his work, mainly for his the simplicity of his style. So when I went and started doing caricature work, I got really good at making all of my lines mean a lot, because you have like 5 minutes to draw something that's like this. So every line you draw is very important. And I guess as like an extension of that type of thinking, I started looking into like other artists that I liked that did the same thing. And when you look into his work, it's very simple, but it's also, he's got a very good eye for knowing how to tell the story and exactly the bare minimum of what he needs to do that. So I've been looking at stuff like that, but in general, I do like, I look at a lot of movies. I like a lot of very visual directors like Stanley Kubrick. Martin Scorsese is really someone I've always liked. But I draw from a lot of different areas.
Yeah, that's good though. Are there any restrictions, do you think, to working in the comic book world?
Yeah, I've sort of been playing with animation lately, which is cool, and something I'm specifically kind of excited to get into with it is sound and noise and music, because when you're reading a comic, it's completely silent. Even with like when you watch a movie, the sound and the images are like completely intertwined, which is something I don't have access to at all. It's completely visual. So jumping into that a little bit, I've been really interested in playing with that element, because I don't ever have that as something to mess with.
Oh, cool. And I know that you frequent cons as much as you can.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So what's coming up for you after today? Are you doing more cons?
There's definitely a short list in my head that I'm looking into. I'm not technically signed up for any of them right now, but I've been super busy this month. I've been trying to get a few of my comics submitted for a couple of grants and contests and stuff like that.
Oh, good.
So that's kind of stopped me from going and actually contacting the conventions, but I'll definitely be around in the area, especially for a few upcoming cons this summer.
Fantastic. And remind people where they can find you and both of your comic books.
Best place right now to find me would be my Instagram, which would be Mr_Peckham, P-E-C-K-H-A-M. This is the first and second initial of my name, and then my first and middle initial _ last name Peckham. And I post everything on there. I post every day. I'm always on the stories.
Yes, I follow you. Yes.
I try to be very active on there and entertaining.
Yeah, that's fantastic. We have time for a game. You know, we like to play games on this show. I've upped my ante though. We're going to give you the choice. We can play Never Have I Ever or Go Bleep Yourself. Either one is fun.
I'll go with go bleep yourself. I've never seen that.
This is fun. Basically, you just read the question and fill in the bleep
Okay.
with whatever you want. You pick one, I'll pick one. Then we'll. Okay. Want me to go first?
Yep.
Too much bleep makes me hyper. Too much alcohol makes me hyper.
Okay, so I know who my true friends are when they bleep for me, and I'm gonna say, as a young artist, my true friends are probably the ones who share my my art on social media. That's always something that's helpful and nice to see.
It is. That is the true test right there. Oh, my favorite thing to receive is bleep. Oh, my favorite thing to receive is a visit from my children. Barry's rolling his eyes.
The worst place to get bleep is on your bike. Worst place.
Probably not what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's interesting. Rained on is on your bike. That's always unfortunate.
Yeah, that is. Absolutely. Well, guys, it's been fun once again hanging with Michael today. I'm Allyson Murray, but before we go, we would like to give a special thank you to our partners at Krypton Radio out of LA, Famous Faces and Funnies, Off the Chain Radio with the Yvonne Mason, Space Coast Comics, Asylum Convention Entertainment Services with Heather Reed, and our great friends at Someone Unique Magazine. These are the folks that share our videos all over the World Wide Web, and we hope you will too. Don't forget to hit that like button, leave a comment, let us know what you think of today's show and our guests. You can also check our guest links below. Remember to subscribe, log on, and stay tuned to see who we're hanging with next. Thank you again, Michael.